Welcome to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we are going to continue diving into the Squid Game, the challenge. We're going to talk about episode 7. Before we dive in, let's go ahead and get some house cleaning done. If you could do me a favor, if you're listening on podcast platforms, please hit that subscribe button. It would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're listening here on YouTube, just subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you can. Help support the channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Folks, the Squid Game is down to the final 3 episodes before the finale, and we left off episode 6 with an incredible cliffhanger, as we have all season, where people are picking each other as we have the numbers are dwindling down to 20 people. So where we left off on episode 7 was watching 393 ask if she picks a dude to pick a woman, would it be okay? She said not picking 451 would be a betrayal. So that's where we got the cliffhanger. It's 393's turn to pick someone, and will she pick a guy or girl or her alliance partner? She picks 451, breaking that girl streak. She hugs him and practically begs him to pick a woman. The other women are pissed because they felt that they built this bond together. And to be honest with you, I mean, look, I understand you went into this thinking, hey, we're building this bond, but there's alliances. Like, if I made an alliance with somebody that's a man, I'm 1000% going to bring them through. We're down to the nitty gritty to 20 people. These are the final 20 before we move into the next competition. Who knows what's next? Crazy right now. His instinct is to pick player 16, but isn't sure what to do. He picks 278 instead, keeps the run of women going. She turns around and doesn't follow what the girls does and picks 16, who he thought he was going to pick. 16 picks 23, another woman who picks 51. Another woman, she picks 221. 221 picks 355. All 9 women are standing within the top 20, so now we have to pick some of the men. 355 has to pick a man now with all the women voted in. She picks 429, who picks 418, says that he isn't sure who to pick and says this sucks. The son, obviously, our son number 301 is freaking out, but then he hears his name, huge sigh of relief. He picks player 269, who is in full-fledged tears. And then 269 is the last person to pick somebody and picks 31. All the remaining players are down to 20. We have eliminated 11 people from the game. The results are in, 20 people down. The pot is up to $4.36 million. And remember here, folks, we are playing a game for cash prize. Not just any cash prize. This ain't $50,000. This ain't $100,000. This ain't $1 million. We're playing for $4.56 million. Okay? It's a game. Okay? All right. So we get some team building with our 20 left. 221 has everyone doing some cheerleading cheers. However, it is halted because it's game time. The team walks into a room where there is a big box with a black blanket over the top of it. It is revealed to be a claw machine. Each bear continues a number of which the order they will go into the next game of Glass Bridge. Each piece of glass is different. One is safe, one is not. When you step on it, you could go through the glass and you are eliminated from the game. The twist here is the bear they get, they have to give to someone else. I'm telling you, just where it's like, man, this is like really, really, really good. But then they just slight twist, keeps you reeling. You know what I'm saying? It really does. It's insane to me how they're capable of bringing these all together, because we're interested, we're invested, we're going crazy, we're watching these episodes, but then out of nowhere, another twist happens and you're just left with your jaw on the ground, right? So I'm not going to go through each and every one of these, but 287 is up first. And then, of course, 393 gets number 1 and gives it to 182 because I am happy because he's the loudest and the most annoying person on the planet. If any of the 20 people could win, I would root for 182 not to win. I didn't keep track of all 20 damn people getting their numbers, but 182 did get 20. He did give it to 287, which basically guarantees her spot into the next round. So now we have moved into the room. Okay, each of these tiles has one step you take into the glass. Boom, you're safe if it doesn't move. If it releases, you drop out. And then, of course, there is 17 total steps to get from pick 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way, 2 steps all the way until you get to the next You're safe and you're moving on to the next round. Someone pitches the idea that each person steps on the glass and the next person giving it a 50-50 chance of trying to do it. Now, let me explain to you. If you're, I'm sure you've watched, but if you haven't watched, here we go. You have two steps. If the first person gets it right, then the person that drew number 2 goes in front of the person that drew number 1 and steps on the game. Now, if they fall through, obviously they know they're eliminated, okay? And then the next person steps, right? Then 3 goes in front of 1, even if 2's gone now. Then 3 goes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, not everybody here is for this idea. And I'm to be honest with you, anybody that agrees to this and anybody that falls in the rest of this game throughout this particular game deserves what they have coming to them. I cannot for the life of me understand how these individuals agreed to do this, because I'm sorry, if I drew number 17, I'm in the back of the line. I'm pretty sure I'm guaranteed a spot in the finale or in the final battle here. Done, finished. I don't understand why, but of course 182 likes it because all he has to do is guess right once. They all should have chimed in and said they couldn't work together as a team. 182 go. I feel like the game should have been like, no, fam, this is not how we do. This is not how this competition is going to work. You have to do what you have to do. 182 goes, and good night. He's gone. Bitch, bye. Bye. 221, of course, gets a head start for this first step, but got the wrong second step out the door. It's 301 time. He rambles about how a higher number privilege. This guy's a clown. Look, I liked him more when his mother was around. I wish his mother would have beat him. Period. End of story. He became so much more unlikable when his mother left, and that's maybe just because his mother was awesome. I'm trying to see, I'm literally trying to see everyone fall. I'm trying to win $4.56 million. Shut up and go. 301 makes a step and makes it to the next step. He's talking to the next person behind him, 77, who decides to take over and do the next step. This is absurd. And you know what? She stepped and she was gone. Play stupid games, you lose. Period. End of story. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire life. 278 is right behind him, calls her dumb. Agreed. Thank you. 301 wants 278 to take the next step, but she is not having it. 278 says she's not sacrificing herself, and I'm not mad at her at all. I got a low number, low chances of making it. No, thank you. Okay. If she does that, I will be so ridiculously mad. However, moments later, we see 301 jump, and then we get a cliffhanger. What a cliffhanger. Again, another fantastic cliffhanger as we're jumping into this world of craziness. Episode 7, another jam-packed episode. This one felt like it cruised right on by. I think it's just because we're dwindling down to these smaller amount of numbers. So that means we have not as many people on the show. So that being said, of course, the episode is a little bit shorter, but this one flew right on by. I just cannot believe that people were agreeing and continue to agree that they have the opportunity of doing this. I don't understand. There's no way I would have agreed to let somebody else or to go in front of somebody else. You got number 1, you're jumping until you're out of the game. Number 2, you're jumping until you're out of the game. Number 3, you're jumping until you're out of the game. Period. End of story. I understand it might be selfish, but again, we're playing for $4.56 million. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast, where we've been talking about Squid Game, the challenge. Again, like, subscribe, do all those cool things. We'll talk to you guys soon.